What's up, guys? Welcome back to Outside Line Media, and today we are talking about IMSA at VIR, and it delivered, if you ask me. It
Yeah,
delivered.
I mean, 50% of the race wasn't run under caution. IMSA made sure that those boys behaved this weekend.
Yeah, IMSA laid down the law. They took all the boys into a dark, secluded room before the race, and they said, "I swear to God, we will never have what happened at Road America happening." And even though
Like, me personally, I feel vindicated knowing that IMSA was on my side.
yeah, I mean, no one
Right, I
was
thought IMSA
doubting
could do no wrong. I thought IMSA could do
they
no wrong.
can.
You can't disagree with them.
They did good. They did what needed to be done. Um, and they meant it. And they were giving penalties out like they were cookies. All right.
Yeah,
We counted six total penalties,
six
five of
penalties.
what five of which were incident
Six
responsibility.
six penalties that resulted in action. That is not
Yes.
including the two warnings for power unit. I forget how it was exactly
Something.
phrased.
Yeah. So five actual penalties that had to be served. Only one didn't get served because it happened on the last lap. All
Literally
incident
1 minute before the
responsibility,
checkered flag.
or sorry, five incident responsibility, one blocking. There's
Yeah,
blocking
because
penalty given
Rexy
out.
was a blocking penalty.
Yeah. So, um, a lot of takes online about, were they deserved. I think they did fine with all the penalties they gave out. Obviously, all penalties left up to interpretation, but I think they made their point. They were very disappointed with the driving standards at Road America, even though I thought it was a good race. I didn't care. The boys were going to be the boys, but they have to do this. IMSA has to reel the boys in. Patrick is slightly vindicated because clearly IMSA
Like,
also
you
agreed with
can't
him that it
just
was
have
unacceptable.
people getting pit maneuvered every restart.
Yeah.
Ultimately, that's an issue with driving standards. I think this week will help fix that.
Yeah, no,
Definitely.
for sure. And I guess my point about last race was I don't think it's bad. The driving standards were horrible in Road America, but I don't think the fact that it was a half under caution is technically horrible. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not great, but like it is what it is. I mean,
It's
we
not
still
a
had
great it's visually not a good
okay.
statistic.
There was still 30 minutes of cautions during this race.
Yeah.
Granted, those both were shout out. Well, there's three total cautions, but two of those were for cars catching on fire. If I had a nickel for every time a car had to retire because of a fire, I'd have two nickels. And if I had a nickel for every time a car almost killed a guy because of how bad it was burning, I'd have one nickel, and it was
Yeah.
scary. The Lamborghini went up in flames. If you haven't seen that video, IMSA posted it. It's all over.
Yeah, it
A
was
scary,
the
this hard cut to a car spinning backwards, in covered in flames.
Yeah, it was the Wayne Taylor Racing 45 driven by Formal at that point in the race. He was taken to the infield care center and released after treatment. Some burns to his face and lips. That was it.
Very scary stuff
Because of
he got
course
out of
they
the car.
drive with their visor up.
Yeah,
So I mean, it engulfed basically the entire car the minute it went. I know you said you had seen reports that it was an oil fire.
yeah, I
I
don't
mean, that
know.
would have had to have been something just gets in there and blows up the
A
entire
lot of
oil
oil line
pan.
and just
Yeah.
everything. There was one report. I can't find it again, so we'll just say it was a fire. But very
It
scary
was
moment.
oil or
I want.
fuel. There's nothing
Yeah,
else it could have been.
yeah. Danny Formal, I gotta say, dude, hell of a job. He had to be undoing his belts while he was sliding backwards on fire. There's no other way he got out of the car that fast.
Well, I
Because I think,
guarantee he was ready probably to unbuckle his belts as he was sliding, waiting until he made sure he wasn't going to slam into the wall. And the minute he knew he's not slamming into the wall,
because
undoes him.
I'd say once he stopped, he was probably 4 seconds, and he got out of the car and went
Yeah.
running, and he jumped over the fence, and he's begging the stewards for some water for his eyes. He's going like this, like water,
Yeah.
and he just grabbed water and was just dumping it on
Because
his face. Clearly,
that wasn't even AMR at that point. That was just the corner workers, wasn't it? We're running over to
yeah.
help him.
And
Um,
AMR got there and everything.
Shout out to the corner workers. I mean, they aren't paid for that stuff. Like, those are
They're
all
ballers.
volunteers.
Yeah.
Shout out your local corner workers. Um,
Shout out VIR as a whole. I just want to take it for a second. It is one of those. It's a story of a dead track resurrected,
yeah,
doing great now. I'm gonna shout out every week. IMSA Endurance Hours, Matt Yoakum. The episode before VIR was with the lady who is the track owner of VIR.
who she also owns something else. What else is it? Like a normal business.
She does like real estate in New York is what she did before she came here.
Let me look it up real quick. I know she does like a business people have heard of, like just normal people.
Yeah.
Um,
Connie Nyholm, she's co-owner, CEO and co-owners of VIR. She's just a passionate person about racing, passionate about the fans and everything. Great listen. But so
yeah.
shout out VIR for just everything they do in the history and keeping their everything. It's sick. It's just sick. VIR, the whole area, you gotta love it. Um, while Patrick looks up that, let's real quickly just touch on the race results. Um, obviously, it's the GT Challenge. We've got two classes. In the GTD Pro category, Antonio Garcia and Sims of the number 3 Corvette get their first win of the year. They've been way up there in points all year, but they finally, actually get their deservedly so their win. It puts them. Let's find this.
Also, if any young drivers are watching this episode, this is why you practice extrication drills.
Yes, literally. It probably increases their lead a little bit. It won't be too much because the Dragon Speed, who's second in the championship to number 3, also finished in second. Just continuing their reign of really great results. And third, the other Corvette with Tommy Milner and Nicky Katzberg. And fourth, my boys, the number 64 Ford Multimatic Mustang with Mike Rockenfeller and Perlow. One like on this video, and I will be wearing a custom-made Mike Rockenfeller shirt at Indianapolis.
Right when I post this, I'm gonna
It's the picture of Rocky holding his hands up when he walks up the stairs, and I'm just gonna shittily crop Mike Rockenfeller's face on it, and I mean shittily. It's gonna be beautiful, and then there'll be some text on it.
Yeah,
And
I
finally,
mean,
in
I'm just
fifth
gonna like
was
this
AO.
video the
Nice.
minute it goes live. Just a
It's
heads
fine.
up.
That's fine. And at number 5, you got AO Racing, Lori Heinrich, and Klaus Bachler. Penalties that hurt their cause, but they never really were in for the win, I don't think. Dragon Speed was chasing at the end. I think if this race was 40 minutes longer, or 30, even 20, damn, even 10, I think Dragon Speed catches them. But it's one thing to catch someone, it's another to get past them. The gap ended about a second, but they did chase them down because after the late caution, the Corvettes were 1-3 or 1-2, and the number 4 was playing block. And it held up them for a while, but once Dragon Speed got by, it was a dash for the finish. I think it lasted like 9 minutes. They were chasing him down. They got down to 1 second. So, great race in the GTD Pro category. No complaints from me. In the GTD, Windward Racing, number 57, they get there a win, and they, I believe, are leading the championship in GTD. Stop me if I'm just wrong. Yes, so they are leading the championship over the number 27. This is before them, so I'm not going to get points gaps because this isn't updated. But continuing, obviously, extending their gap, run for the championship, finishing first. In second, the 021 Tresari Competición. The Ferrari 296 was a second place car today because that's where it finished in both classes. It was a second place car. And number 3, number 27, Harder Racing. Fourth, my GOAT, Robbie Foley, Turner Motorsports. And fifth, we have Gradient Racing with Jensen Altman and Maginis. Pardon my pronunciation. I'm horrible at that. So yeah, overall, I love this race. It was great. Same time as IndyCar, which, split my attention, but luckily I was able to finish IndyCar, watch the finish. It all worked out.
NBC and Fox, you got to figure your shit out. Let's not have commercials on at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know how it happened, but there's a solid 40 minutes where the commercials were just so perfectly lining up. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
We both watching both and flipping between the two. That is crazy. It's just crazy how that works.
Banger race from IndyCar. Check out that episode went live on Wednesday. And then check out the NASCAR race at Daytona. That episode went up Wednesday or Thursday. Today's Wednesday when we're recording this. Yeah, I mean, we've got a month break. I'm sure there's some more IMSA content that we're going to be producing over this month break until Indianapolis, which we will be at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the 2025 title sponsor Battle on the Bricks. I don't remember who the title sponsor is.
Why did I almost just say something stupid? I don't know.
I feel like it's Gamebridge.
Is it?
It would make sense.
No, it is Tire Rack. Okay, I'm not crazy.
Okay, it's the TireRack.com Battle on the Bricks. That sounds right.
That's what it was. I was sitting here being like, "Is that right?" I don't want to sound stupid, but that's right.
I don't know. I just assumed Indianapolis and Gamebridge, but
yeah. But yeah, IMSA laying down the law on the boys. And I'm fine with that. IMSA can do no wrong. I will change my opinion based on what IMSA does. I will change my. You know me. Like what Patrick is for IndyCar at times, I am for IMSA all the time.
I have been just nerding out on the deep access I have to IndyCar stuff now. The technical documents. Wow.
Yeah, IMSA documents ruined my life. Personally, I will.
I wish that, look, IMSA, if anybody from IMSA is watching this, for the love of God, give us one consolidated website where you just have everything. Because we're using a third-party site that you do officially use for all of the race documents. But I would just love it all in one place and make a document just for penalties.
Yeah, that's my thing. We were trying to find the penalties. The only way we were finding it was get the whole race notes and just go through. We could be stupid, but live timing is my favorite website. IMSA live timing results.
I was looking in the Dropbox. I didn't see anything.
I went on IMSA's actual website, couldn't find anything. And the only thing it was showing in IMSA live timing is the number 78 penalty because it wasn't served, so it was applied post race, which makes sense. But
how long of a time penalty do they do for that drive-through?
27 second. Okay. So it's obviously what a drive-through takes. So
I would say I wonder if that varies from race to race.
I'm sure it does. I wonder if they account for the time lost. Like, do they do stopwatch when you enter pit lane, stopwatch when you leave, or do they do like the sector lines and see how much slower it is than your normal time?
From the like accounting for you're slowing down and speeding up.
Yeah, you lose time for that. I don't know. I would have to really. I don't know how to figure that out. But yeah, and you can just watch someone's lap time. You can just do the lap chart and see their people's out laps, how fast their out laps. But that's so varied because. If you're launching an outlap, that's a genuine outlap, it's cold tires. So you'd have to do someone serving a penalty and compare.
Yeah.
Which I might do after this. We'll see.
Yeah, you've got 40 minutes until your draft, so
I gotta start locking in. I got a big dynasty football draft coming up after this. This is my 5th fantasy draft of the year, 5th of 6. I think.
need to set my IndyCar lineup for Nashville.
It's big reminders from Patrick there on Grid Rival. I was lacking on Grid Rival for weeks, actually.
We got to lock in next season for everything.
I just wish... I don't know. I wish there was some way to do fantasy like you do in football for IndyCar.
We could figure something out. We'd have to create a scoring system.
How would you do it? Like, if you got a draft pick, if you had the first overall pick, you just fucking win. Because you get Alex Palou. It's not like...
You'd have to do a budget. Which is
I don't like budget. I like drafts. I like people
picking you could do a combination of budget and draft, like tabletop games.
Best bids. I hate best bid leagues. I hate bidding leagues.
No. It's everyone has a set cost, but you have a draft order that you go in.
Still,
so then if you choose like Alex Palou, you make him absurdly expensive, so you can't afford anyone that was above like P10 in the championship last year.
I don't like that though, because then it's just Grid Rival with extra steps.
We literally could do Grid Rival and we just do live drafts every week.
Yeah, but like then people can take the same people, and I know we'll figure this out. I think football is just the perfect sport for different positions.
It's hard to do it for motorsports. Yeah, once we figure it out for one series, though, then it can just be copy paste. I know I know some developers.
Back to IMSA peak, as I would say.
We need IMSA fantasy too.
IMSA Grid Rivals would feed families. It would actually feed families. Oh my god, I need IMSA. Can I bet on this shit?
You can bet on
That's what
Moto
football's for.
America.
Football's for my betting and fantasy needs. But yeah, let's go over how our predictions did. The only thing I got correct was the number 57 Windward Racing winning in GTD. I got all my other predictions wrong. And fun fact, both my hit the apexes from both classes caught on fire. Number 45 Wayne Taylor Racing and the number 48 Paul Miller Racing. Both
You
my
had a
hit the
great
apexes
week.
imploded. And my miss the apexes both got second place. So I'm on a roll. If I would have flipped those two, I would have been perfect. I would have had I had number 64 winning, but
all right. The only thing that I got was to hit the apex for the number 4 Pratt Miller Corvette.
Yep.
They got nice little tidy podium, and that's all I got.
And they played pick long enough for the 81 to not catch up. So
yeah,
they did a good job.
Pretty rough week for both of us. Is there any IMSA news that we have missed? The big sniffer is no more.
Oh yeah. How can we not mention that? The big sniffer, BMW announced a new front bumper for next year's WEC and IMSA teams. That should be fire. Let's see what else. Anything else? Wickens is targeting full time next year at DXT Corvette seat.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, there was a wedding at VIR, one of the Mustang drivers. On the Mustang podium got married. That's fucking badass. That's all I gotta say. It's fucking sick.
Yeah, should be a good time. Mustang Cup driver got promoted at Paley Motorsports to drive in Mustang Challenge starting next race. Mustang Cup obviously being the SCCA sanctioned spec Mustang series, I want to say. Sure. It's basically Spec Miata, but for Mustangs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be not a fun off-season for IMSA, but we have other racing. We have the first round of the NASCAR playoffs this weekend. We have the final round of the IndyCar Championship this weekend. Not really any championships left to decide in Nashville, though.
Against WEC Coda, and that's where the Mustang Challenge is taking part. So.
There's a bug flying around like right here, and it's bothering me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's all we have for this episode. Check out, we'll have our F1 stuff up tomorrow. I guess tomorrow, probably whenever I post this video. We'll figure it out. Let us know if we should stop covering F1 and go more in depth on the other series.
I'll get autistic about F1. I'll get autistic about IMSA. Don't tempt me.
I'll get autistic about IndyCar. And then NASCAR is just kind of going to be...
I love NASCAR. I'll never not love NASCAR.
I'm the same way with IndyCar. Now that I have access to be able to go to like all the press conferences and everything, I'm gonna be there.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.